So this is Josh Strife Hayes, completely wrong about Ashes of Creation, but it's not his fault. This is by Narc. This guy makes some really funny videos.
No, not Josh. Not Josh as well.
It's a little bit quiet.
Where's my phone? I need to sort this out.
Tell me where you keep it. Where is your funding stored? I am the legendary level 3 Pantheon deer, and this corporate entity is now under my siege. Tell me where it is.
Huh? Money?
You better tell him.
I've never heard of it. We're paid here at Blizzard headquarters exclusively in breast milk.
Bah, useless. The once mighty Blizzard reduced.
You guys heard about that scandal, right? The breast milk scandal. Some Blizzard employee, she had a baby, and you know, when you have a baby and you're breastfeeding, the like milk creates like a pressure almost, and it becomes painful to like keep it in there. So you like almost have to pump to get it out to like relieve that like pain. And so I think the employee had like pumped at work and put it in the like employee fridge or something. Like maybe that's weird, maybe that's kind of like strange for some people, but somebody stole it. And like I don't know. That's just so weird to me. Anyway,
To ash before my excuse me for a moment.
What the hell, man? Even Josh Strife Hayes is getting my game confused with yours now.
Oh, this again? Well, that's not my problem, Baldy. For anyone who thinks our shitty game is the same as yours, that's funding you're not getting.
It's not funny. I see this constantly, and it's really starting to get to me now.
okay.
Well,
That view.
breast milk to harvest.
Hey, what up, boys? So today is the day I finally
Still a little
tell
quiet, isn't
everyone
it?
why
Is it
I'm
quiet? It seems
critical
quiet.
About Pantheon, Rise of the Fallen. Not only is the game a complete joke in terms of concept and execution, making it easy meme material for me, but the frustration goes deeper than this. Every day I wake up full of life and hope. My optimism for the future of MMORPGs is renewed every morning when I'm reminded of Ashes of Creation's progress over the last 10 months. The combat direction, the innovation.
Hold on. I think I have something in my eye. What's going on there? Dang. It's uncomfortable, too. All right. What do we think so far? Pretty funny? Have you guys ever heard of this guy? I think he's good, man. I think he's really funny. I love how he starts off with like a little bit of like a comedic sketch.
When it comes to character creator and weather effects, the MMORPG player base should be rejoicing. We're finally getting a game that seems to be doing everything right.
Everything we want.
Cosmetics, the FOMO, the battle royale, and the stalling, of course. But you see, my friends, this is not the case for the general public. Oh, no. And allow me to explain why in today's video.
Okay.
Before we get
Let's hear it.
Our patrons and I would love for you to grab yourself a dope.
That guy has a lot of Patreon supporters. Did you see that? Like, it was going fast, and there were a lot of names. Holy cow. Good for him.
A cola, because my optimism is crushed every single day when I look through my usual social media to find relevant news to report on, and people everywhere, Twitter, YouTube, Reddit, and Discord, continue to confuse Pantheon, Rise of the Fallen, with Ashes of Creation. Even the gorgeous hunk that is Josh Strife Hayes has fallen to such a trap, and
oh no,
I'm honest, I just can't take it anymore. I need to vent. I need to clear the air and sort this mess out, because
I'm at my limit with this bullshit.
Get it out, man. Just let it all out.
So today, it's time for you to turn around,
What was that?
drop your pants and bend over, because I'm about to hate fuck your brains out whilst releasing my frustration about this constant mix-up. Now, with all that bollocks out of the way, let's begin, shall we?
Okay. I'm here for it. Oh! We got some YouTube ads! Oh, I actually kind of like that.
So it is actually pretty reasonable and an easy mistake to mix these two Kickstarter projects up. However, even at the Kickstarter stage, the major differences between Pantheon and Ashes of Creation are already misrepresented. Pantheon Rise of the Fallen
looks
actually
bad.
Failed to kickstart, barely even getting half the required funds to set it off.
Ouch.
This didn't stop them, no. Despite the lack of interest, they chose to privately fund the game instead, using $10,000 pledge packages that still exist today, paying access to their forums, and an NDA so thick it would put even your head to shame. And to top it all off, there's a caveat in their pledge page saying if this game falls through, you will not be getting your money back.
Okay.
Now, if we mirror this with Ashes of Creation,
I always feel like that's a little sketchy. But at the same time, I know these companies are using funds, like, constantly. Like, you have to pay your employees, or even if you're not, I don't know, what do you want to say, like, even if it's not a fully, well, no, yeah, it has to be fully formed and, like, legal, because they have, like, I mean, you got to have, like, a company name to have employees under you to be creating, like, content that is, like, protected legally. So I guess so, yeah. So it's a fully formed company. They got these employees, so they have to pay the employees. And so this money that's coming in, it has to be spent. So I guess it is kind of hard to just say, like, oh, yeah, and we can just return all this to you if it fails. But I don't know. It still feels sketchy. Like, yeah, we're taking all your money. You're just giving us money with no product yet. And if you don't get the product because we fail to execute, yeah, you don't get any of it back. And that's just how it is. Deal with it.
they actually smashed their Kickstarter goal 10 times over within the first day.
I wonder why. I wonder why they smashed it. Maybe because it actually looks good. And whatever Pantheon, whatever, it doesn't look good at all.
Setting records for the most funded MMORPG to date.
Nice.
The caveat to funding actually says the opposite. If this project fails, you will get your money back. But the Kickstarter was merely a gauge in interest, allowing Steven and the team to confidently go all out.
But the difference here is the main guy of this game development studio is like filthy rich. So if it does fall through, he's just like, okay, whatever. Poor investment, give everybody their money back, and I'll pay personally if I have to. Like, that's cool that he can do that.
And promise the full roster of original plans. The Kickstarter wasn't a funding process, because Steven has said on multiple occasions...
Okay.
The bottom line is, I am committed to this project's success and completion. And that means that when it comes to funding for the additional years that perhaps were not planned for, that's coming out of mine and John's pocket.
Ow.
And we're okay with that.
Okay.
What we see in front of us is not only a team of extremely talented...
Like, put the money where your mouth is, and he's like, gladly, got you covered.
...individuals, but also a community that is extremely passionate about the project and wanting to see it come to fruition.
The game is already funded to completion out of his own pocket, regardless of any sales made through the monthly packs. You see, the packs still exist with their current access, and the price still stands as it did back in 2018, because by reducing the price, you're spitting in the face of those original backers. And
that's true. Yeah, that's true. If you change prices on people, oh, man. It hurts, right? The people who buy day one, or, you know, in this case, support day one, and then you change that price later, like, oh, hey, you get the same benefits, or, you know, like, say for Patreon, oh, you bought into this package, but, yeah, you get the same benefits now as before, but it's like, you know, 2/3 of the price or half the price or whatever. That hurts because it's like, wait, why did I pay so much then? I should have just waited.
Respect Intrepid for doing that. Even though it is hurting their reputation in the current year, it is the correct choice to make. If you think the Alpha keys should be lower in price to suit the current interest, then you, my friend, clearly are so used to Blizzard taking a giant shit on your head, you think it's acceptable to be treated like a toilet. Well, not...
Yeah, I mean, I guess that does make sense. Like, it sucks to have the price changed, but at least they're paying attention to their potential player base, their fans, and like the interest level. Like, at least they're engaged in the whole process, and they really are engaged. It seems like they're always asking and checking the reactions of fans and kind of implementing based on that. It's really cool. Have you guys experienced any other developer like that? Have you guys experienced any other developer or heard of any other developer like really interacting with their fans on this level, like an MMO on this level? Like, hey, we want to hear what you like, what you don't like. We want to make changes based on that. They're really trying to make everybody happy, but also not trying to do too much, it seems. I don't know. I haven't heard of any other MMO developer doing that.
Me, I dropped out of the Blizzard shill train many years ago because I value being treated with respect. Steven is down 30 million as of the release of Alpha 1 and has most certainly not made his money back yet. So
30 million.
If this is a scam, then, well, you're doing a pretty shit job stealing our money, Steven. Maybe you should take a leaf out of Pantheon's book and stop actually making progress. The only similarity...
That's nuts. 30 million. And the guy's just like, yeah, I just want to make a good MMO. What? Like, what do you mean? What's the problem? 30 million. Psh. So what? I just want a good MMO. That's incredible.
He's between Ashes of Creation and Pantheon Rise of the Fallen is that they both still remain in an alpha development stage today. Ashes of Creation just passed its 5-year mark, and Pantheon Rise of the Fallen is creeping up on its 9th year mark. A pretty big difference.
Pantheon. That's gotta be a sign, guys. It's taken you 9 years and your game still looks like crap and nobody's really interested. When people talk about exciting upcoming MMOs, the name that usually comes out is Ashes of Creation. I mean, among a couple others, but still. It's not good. Like, almost twice the amount of time being developed and, like, less than half the interest level.
Considering Pantheon hasn't had a single publicly viewable alpha phase yet, nor is one in sight anytime soon. Ashes of Creation shows considerable progress every single month, even before the Unreal 5 announcement, and had an extremely successful, publicly viewable Alpha 1 test, boasting incredible MMORPG feats that we thought were quite literally impossible in this modern age of MMORPGs. But my major
really
concern
cool
here is how easily and how common it is for people to mix up Ashes of Creation and Pantheon. These are not the same game.
Yes,
but
very
to
different.
The public eye, as demonstrated by Josh, they are. All of the dodgy practices, the scam level progress, and the egregious monetization attempts over the years, such as reducing the price of the keys and them trying to sell NFTs, has bled into Ashes of Creation's reputation. I see this every single day across all social media platforms, and it infuriates me. You think I shit on Pantheon and Visionary Realms because of their lack of talent and motivation to actually make a game? No. I do it because Ashes of Creation's reputation suffers because of their lack of talent and progress. But I digress. My goal here today, as much as I want it to...
Wait. Okay. That's so painful. Do you ever have that? Do you ever have like a sneeze coming on and it's like right there. It's right there. And then it just doesn't come out. It just retreats back into the recesses of my nasal cavities and then runs all the way back up the highway that is the road to my brain. And then it doesn't come out.
Isn't to slander another so-called passion project. It is to clear up the misconceptions that one of our leading content creators within the MMORPG space seems to have with this highly anticipated MMO. So let's pull out the copium and convince ourselves that Ashes of Creation isn't going to follow in Pantheon's footsteps.
Okay, let's hear it. An outsider's perspective.
Narc has shown his disdain in the past for Ashes of Creation, and I completely stand by his original critiques. Viewing this project from an outside perspective is exactly how I go about creating videos, and likely contributes to the amount of success my format has had. Albeit that comes at the cost of me being labeled as a dumb fuck within the neckbeards of this community.
Oh no.
Narc, sadly, takes great joy in mocking them over it. What a toxic asshole.
I deliberately choose to word things in ways that normies would understand the concept, not in the ways that stroke the obsessive copium fiends festering in the pits of Reddit and Discord.
Okay.
Check, guys, the game doesn't even exist, so stop consuming social media about it daily. And that includes all of you morons in my Discord as well.
Yeah, that might be a little unhealthy, guys.
The game's progress and concepts do seem extremely daunting. Open world PvP, a player-driven world, ocean, dungeons, world bosses...
That looks sick.
But the truth is, it's only really the node system, focusing on that player-driven aspect, that makes this MMO different. Even then, I think we, as consumers, are way overshooting the impact this player-driven aspect will actually be. We are, unironically, overhyping this particular part of the game because of the lack of information about it. And admittedly, it will probably end up disappointing a lot of us.
Yeah. That always happens, though. That always happens. A game developer teases an aspect of a game because they know it's something that they've either heard or done research about with players or fans, and found like, oh, this is something popular or ideal or whatever to have in a game. So they're like teasing about it because they've included something like that in the game, but maybe it's just a little tidbit of it, right? Like, oh, you know, we included economy stuff, but it's just like, you know, oh, there's a base price. Oh, you know, that's in a lot of games. But people are imagining something much more grand where it's like, oh, the prices vary based on a huge city versus like a small village, and they vary based on like population density and blah 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 blah. Like, no, it's just we have a base price, just like other games. Yeah. So that the price doesn't plummet, you know, like New World. Oh, that's weird. It's a random cough.
But aside from this node system, the open world PvP concept has been used across multiple games. The planned crafting and gathering systems were highly successful in Star Wars Galaxies and EVE. The oceans and caravan systems, leaning on a risk versus reward motivation, are utilized successfully across a few. And in fact, Ashes of Creation is quite literally just a nice blend of Lineage 2, aka Black Desert Online, and Arcade. They are quite literally just copying the best systems out of these four aforementioned games and blending them all into one. It is not...
But isn't that the best way to go about this? If you're a new... Well, you know, yeah. If you're a new game developer, what are you doing? You're taking inspiration from other games. I mean, you know... We can go back to the very, very first game developer, I guess, but everyone else has just been taking inspiration from other games, right? You know, everything. Everything is just inspiration from other games. Other, like, mythologies, other stories. Like, yeah, we just take inspiration from other things, put together our favorite pieces, and make something with it. So, yeah, they're just doing what we've been doing. Whoops.
not impossible or daunting at all, and the progress they've made this year has been a pretty clear indicator the game is quickly becoming a reality. On that note, let's discuss the clip in question. There's 3 major points to Josh's clip that I want to address: the scope creep, the so-called taming discussion, and the common sense logic of how an MMORPG should be made. Each of these points he made does not apply to Ashes of Creation in any capacity whatsoever. This is what compelled me to make the connection to Pantheon Rise of the Fallen. First of all, he mentions scope creep and feature creep. At no point during the development process of this highly anticipated MMO have they ever increased the scope or features planned. What they decided during Kickstarter was set in stone the moment that ended, and not once have they attempted to expand this. There was a debate last month about the map.
Well, that's a good thing. Scope creep happens a lot. It happens a lot. And so, yeah, if you can just stick to the plan, I think you have a better chance of success. And then all it really comes down to is like, okay, do we have the right assets, the right people for the right jobs, you know, the right amount of money to pay these people? Like, as long as you have all that and you're not trying to add to the load and you have a deadline and you're keeping to your milestones, should be fine. So, yeah, that's a good thing.
Size increase being classed as scope or feature creep, but I think after analyzing and much consumption of copium, we came to the consensus that it is not scope or feature creep to convert the original concept of the game into a practical, usable world that supports the systems. In fact, they even reduced the original scope by removing 15 of their original 103 planned nodes, so technically
I agree here. I think it's true that if you're realizing, hey, we promised things and the world design doesn't currently fit those promises, and so you change the world design, because, you know, they took their original world map and they're like, okay, we need to make it bigger. But, like, bigger overall map, but maybe not really a huge increase in, like, landmass. Because they promised, like, ship battles and crazy on-the-water, you know, open PvP, and there wasn't much of an ocean. And so they just made the map bigger with way more ocean and a bit more land mass. There is more added, but it's mostly the ocean that's, like, huge now. And like, interspersed islands and stuff, so you actually feel like you're traveling, like, through a really cool, like, spread out ocean with some, you know, some sprinklings of, like, land in between, when you want that open sea PvP. So yeah, I think that was good.
It's
and not scope creep.
Unscope creep. Anyway, the reason Josh mentioned scope and feature creep in the first place was to push the point of the recent taming discussion. Taming? What? Well, this is where it...
Like taming a wild animal? Like, what is he talking about? What the heck?
Dawned on me. You see, to swindle the super copium enjoyers within the Pantheon player base, they like to do what is called...
Oh my gosh, hold on. It really feels like there's something in my eye. Aha! There was an eyelash. Man, I hate my eyelashes getting in my eyes. One more time. I'm sorry. Please. Please, just let me stream. Please.
Parting of the veil, or what I like to call parting of the arse cheeks as they fuck their backers with no remorse. Because this is just 1 hour of them answering questions and promising more and more things that are never actually going to exist. Surely not Chronicles of Valeria vibes, am I right, guys? No. Pantheon has shown way more progress than that game after 8 years, for sure. This baseless promise of cool conceptual features is the definition of scope creep. And the subject matter of this month was, of course...
Yeah, of course. We'll add in whole new areas and, yeah, new systems that you've never heard of, and they sound super promising. Yeah, it's going to be great. We're certainly putting your money to good use, of course.
Taming. The very thing Josh brought up. Pantheon had no footage to back up these wild claims, of course, just the same reused Unity assets that they think is acceptable to present the progress of their game here in 2022. Steven hasn't spoken about taming or anything like that since ever.
That looked so bad. It almost looked like RuneScape assets. And there's nothing wrong with RuneScape. Like, I still think RuneScape is awesome. Like, it was so successful and probably still is. I don't really look into it that much nowadays, but it looked like RuneScape assets, but then mixed in with, like, nice, like, almost modern, like, grass textures. So you get the idea of, like, okay, they're trying to develop, like, a nice, like, modern MMO, but then, like, what the heck is that? Like, what? It doesn't even fit. You don't even have a consistent style going on yet. And you've done, like, alphas, and what? And it's been 9 years?
Because Intrepid do not talk about things until they are ready to show. So the only explanation for this comment is that Josh quite literally thinks Pantheon and all its failings are also ashes of creations. Finally, Josh also spoke about how a game should be designed.
That's a big no.
The basic functionalities, release a playable product, and then add stuff on top of it. You know, common sense. The funny thing is, the exact quote that Josh said, I think I've heard it word for word coming out of Steven's mouth as well. Steven knows what it takes to make an MMORPG, and he's been doing everything correctly. That's why Ashes of Creation has so much faith behind it. It is not just baseless cope. This is the only upcoming MMORPG that genuinely looks like it will succeed for once.
Right.
On that note, Steven actually reached out to Josh in this clip and offered an interview in the comments. Josh, if you're watching this or any of his viewers able to clip, please take up this offer and...
Yes. Let him do the interview. Let him prove that this is not true. It's completely baseless. Just watch some of the developer updates on their channel. Like, it's all there. They're a pretty open book, which is nice. It's refreshing. Anyway.
Interview Steven, because I think you are misunderstanding a lot of what Ashes of Creation is all about. You preach you want the genre to be better, and Steven is trying to bring that back to us, back to a time before MMOs weren't complete corporate dog shit. You will not only be doing a huge service to the MMORPG player base, but I think it will also make you consider sucking in that sweet, sweet Ashes of Creation copium. This month in particular, Ashes of Creation has been receiving a lot of hate, far more than the usual 3 threads a day, but as expected considering they just took a giant dump on all the Zoomers' desperate need to sate their action combat ADHD. But it's important to remember, Ashes of Creation isn't trying to be the next World of Warcraft. It isn't trying to be the next big thing.
Right.
Steven has said this multiple times, and even the player base, who desperately consume it every single day, already know the open world PvP nature of this MMO will not allow it to maintain an audience the size of World of Warcraft. This highly anticipated MMO's ambitions are simple. Just be a good MMO that respects its players without pay-to-win and anti-social convenience system.
Isn't that great? What? Wait. No way. That's not possible, man. You mean they just want to make a good game? They don't want to overly monetize their game and make billions of dollars and make their heads of the company super filthy rich and allow them to buy new yachts and sip cocktails and martinis all day? Wow, what? They just want to make a good game? Well, that's absurd.
Believe it or not, kids, that's what MMOs used to be, an escapism for people like me who struggle to fit in the real world. The heavy emphasis on social...
Yes, exactly. MMOs are like... It's a big world that you can put yourself into if you don't fit in the outside one. Or if you don't want to fit in the outside one. Like... I didn't have a ton of social trouble growing up, right? But I had terrible internet, so I couldn't really partake in any MMOs other than, like, classic RuneScape. Like, I'm talking the The like 2D graphic one that looks like it was hand drawn by like an 8-year-old. I could only play that, but I loved it. I loved it because it was an escapism from all the BS. I never enjoyed faking myself or trying to fit in, right? So if I go in an MMO, I know everybody's there to play the game, and so we all have something in common immediately. Anyway.
Media nowadays and the kids growing up on nerdy stuff being the norm does mean the escapism that used to exist is no longer a thing. Sadly, it's all just money bags to our corporate overlords now. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Intrepid have made a bunch of mistakes during their development process.
Yeah.
APOC was an embarrassing move in my opinion. The cosmetics are a heavily debated topic, and the few periods of time where the progress was slow probably took a toll on this game's reputation. However, the last 10 months have been absolutely phenomenal for the game.
Yes,
the move over to
agreed.
G5 feels like something Intrepid have been waiting for to really pop off, and they've been pulling no punches to prove to us they are capitalizing on the incredible strides in technology Unreal Engine 5 offers.
Seriously,
So
yeah, seriously.
Drama video, I actually...
Yeah, that's what I noticed too. I heard whisperings of Ashes of Creation like before, let's say like 10 months ago. But then suddenly it's like, boom, damn, oh my, Ashes of Creation. It's the most promising MMO of 2022. Like, holy cow, you know?
Don't have a question for you guys, so instead
I
will leave you with a closing.
I disturbed my cat. Hi, Storm. Hi, Storm. What? What is it? What's wrong? Am I being too loud? I'm being too loud.
Statement. I hate Pantheon, Rise of the Fallen. But as usual, I am just one nerd desperate for a good MMO.
Right?
Pantheon, of course.
And my
Oh,
opinion
of course.
means nothing without your baseless cope for Pantheon down in the comments below. And hey, if you are a backer for Pantheon, unlucky!
What, Narc? He can't just slander my game like this, man. Ashes of Creation.
Yes, he
is a
can.
scam because I said so. Take that, Baldy.
And to that I say, listen, kid. I'm sick of your garbage game constantly making Ashes of Creation look bad, but clearly, instead of giving feedback to Visionary Realms for their obvious lack of talent, you'd rather remain ignorant because you're high on copium.
A wild beast has been unleashed.
Dang, man. Good video. That's a good video. I always enjoy this guy's stuff. Narc. He's awesome. If you guys enjoyed that video of his, go ahead and head on over to his channel, show some support, subscribe to the channel, you know, give the video a like, all that normal stuff, right? Really, really good video.